But at the same time, he acknowledges that a majority of the courts have chosen to dismiss an indictment. He says the special counsel's admission that this is the practice of the majority of courts certainly provides legal support to Mr. Now, further undermining Weiss's claim, Hunter's lawyer says, is his reliance upon an argument that has already been rejected. He repeats the very same argument that the government made in the Steve Bannon case, that the court should administratively terminate the case rather than dismiss the indictment. But he acknowledges that the Bannon court rejected that argument and dismissed the indictment as to him. So this court should also reject that and dismiss it as to Hunter. As in Bannon, the pardon here from his daddy comes before the sentencing and before any judgment in the case based on the indictment. And so the appropriate thing for you to do is to dismiss the indictment. We'll see what the judge does. Now, David Weiss's argument in opposing the dismissal of the indictment rests on a non sequitur, that the pardon does not mean that the grand jury's decision should be wiped away. The grand jury indicted him, and that should stand. You don't dismiss the indictment. You let the indictment stand and you terminate the case. The fact that Mr. Biden has been indicted will remain true. We'll always know that that happened, like we'll always know it, even if the indictment is dismissed, just as it would be as if he were acquitted at trial. It is not wiped away as if it never occurred. Neither a dismissal nor an acquittal eliminates the fact of the indictment. They merely reflect that an indictment has been resolved. So the pardon here before sentencing prevents this case from running its course based on the indictment that was filed. So the court should reflect that by dismissing the indictment and indicating accurately that the indictment is dismissed due to the pardon. And it's like, what are we splitting hairs for, Abby Lowell? You know, it's all kind of the same thing. What do you care? He wants the indictment dismissed so that Hunter can say, my case was dismissed. That's it. His case was dismissed. He wants to say that in his books, in his public media appearances, and all the things. That's it. Finally, the special counsel says, Abby, that the cover email that he was sent from the pardon attorney with the pardon warrant itself contained an obvious error, suggesting that the pardon would be effective after completion of the sentence. But the pardon itself has no condition, and the pardon attorney has no authority to restrict a pardon granted by the president. And the pardon attorney has since emailed a correction stating, please be advised that the notation of after completion of the sentence was included in error. So Mr. Biden's pardon was effective upon issuance by the president, and this court should respect that decision by dismissing the indictment, as is the relief granted by courts addressing pardons at this moment in the process. Signed by Abby Lowell.